NBA is known for its high-flying dunks and intense rivalries, but what about the darkest scandals that the league wants you to forget? From criminal charges to cover-ups, we'll reveal the shocking truth about some of the most controversial moments in NBA history. These are the moments that shook the sports world and left a lasting impact on the players and teams involved. Starting off with a scandal that might just be the darkest because it led to the suspension of 9 NBA players for a total of 146 games, with about $11 million lost in salary. Some were charged with assault, and some even got sentenced. However, it was not just the players alone. Some fans were also charged with assault and received life bans. If you're a fan of basketball brawls, scandals, and drama, you'll definitely want to hear about the Malice at the Palace. This incident went down in 2004 during an NBA game between the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons. With just 45.9 seconds left in the fateful Pistons-Pacers game, the Malice started when Pacers player Ron Artest fouled Pistons player Ben Wallace during the game. Wallace took exception to the foul and shoved Artest furiously, which sparked a massive melee between the players of both teams. Things soon got seriously out of control when Artest was hit with a cup thrown by a Pistons fan, and he charged into the stands to confront the fan. Other players and fans got involved, and the brawl quickly escalated into a full-blown riot that lasted for several minutes. The incident was caught on camera and became one of the most memorable and controversial moments in NBA history. Multiple players were fined, suspended, and faced criminal charges for their role in the brawl. In fact, the NBA had to change its security measures and put in place some limitations. The Malice at the Palace is by far the worst fight in NBA history. It even inspired its own Netflix series with the same name. As shocking as that brawl was, this next incident caught many people by surprise: the Len Bias Scandal. For those who don't know, Len Bias was a college basketball star who was drafted into the NBA just days before his untimely death from a cocaine overdose. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's tragic, but how does it become a scandal? Well, it turns out that Bias was struggling academically and was actually 21 credits short of earning his bachelor's degree. Not only that, but 4 of his teammates at the University of Maryland had also flunked the semester. It brought to light the questionable standards of big-time college athletics. The head coach, Charles Drizel, defended the school by saying that most senior players at other colleges in the Atlantic Coast Conference were probably in a similar academic situation. The academic counselor to the basketball team also resigned, stating that education was too low a priority for Drizel and that the long seasons and frequent absences from classes hindered the academic progress of even those athletes who were genuinely interested in their education. The fact is, the NCAA claims to limit top division basketball teams to 28 games per season, but schools often take advantage of loopholes to add additional games. This, along with the rigorous practice schedules, leaves little time for players to focus on their studies. The Len Bias Scandal highlighted the corrupt standards of college athletics and the need for reform to prioritize the education of student athletes. This next scandal was unexpected and surprising, and many don't even know about it. Back in 2007, former Miami Heat All-Star guard Tim Hardaway made some seriously hateful comments on a radio show. When asked how he would deal with a gay teammate, Hardaway said that he wouldn't want a gay player on his team and that he would distance himself from them. He also said that he didn't think a gay player should be in the locker room with the rest of the team. But it didn't stop there. Hardaway also declared himself homophobic and said that he hated gay people. His comments caused a huge uproar in the NBA world simply because Hardaway, the self-declared homophobic, was already in Las Vegas for the All-Star Weekend and had made public appearances for the NBA and was scheduled to make more public appearances, including being an assistant coach at a wheelchair game, as well as attend the fan-oriented jam session. In reaction, former NBA Commissioner David Stern banned Hardaway from All-Star Weekend in Las Vegas. Hardaway eventually apologized for his comments, but the damage was already done. His comments sparked a larger conversation about homophobia in sports and the need for greater acceptance and inclusion. It's a reminder that hate and bigotry have no place in the NBA, or any other sports league for that matter. Discrimination in the NBA did not just end with Tim Hardaway. In 2014, the NBA was rocked by a recording of the then Clippers owner, Donald Sterling, making racist statements to his mistress, V. Stiviano. This wasn't Sterling's first scandal. He had a history of questionable behavior during his 3 decades in the league. But this one was particularly shocking. In the recording, Sterling can be heard saying things like, "In your lousy effing Instagram, you don't have to have yourself walking with black people." And "It bothers me a lot that you want to promote, broadcast that you're associating with black people." He even went so far as to say, "Who makes the game? Do I make the game, or do they make the game?" in reference to the predominantly black players on his own team. Sterling's comments sparked outrage and received national media coverage. NBA players even threatened to boycott playoff games if new NBA Commissioner Adam Silver didn't take decisive action against Sterling. Silver responded by banning Sterling from the league for life and fining him $2.5 million, the maximum fine allowed by the NBA Constitution. He also stripped Sterling of virtually all of his authority over the Clippers and moved to force him to sell the team. The sale of the Clippers to Steve Ballmer for $2 billion eventually closed in August, bringing an end to this ugly and disturbing chapter in NBA history. Speaking of ugly situations, this next case against Derrick Rose in 2015 was a mess from start to finish. For those who don't remember, a woman known as Jane Doe accused Rose of drugging and sexually assaulting her. She claimed that she and the point guard dated from 2011 to 2013 and alleged that Rose and 2 of his close friends trespassed into her apartment and assaulted her while she was unconscious. As the trial dragged on and more information came to light, it became clear that this case was far from straightforward. The trial revealed some disturbing and ugly details about Rose's behavior, including the fact that he did not get explicit consent from the woman who accused him of sexual assault. Ultimately, Rose and his friends were found not liable for the charges, and the case against the NBA star was dismissed. Now, I'm not saying that Rose is innocent or guilty. The legal system has decided he is not. However, it is one of those scandals that leaves you wondering and bewildered because after the verdict, the jurors were seen taking pictures with Derrick Rose. So what do you think? The league has faced its share of controversies and challenges, but it's important to remember and learn from these mistakes in order to move forward and create a more transparent and fair environment for all players and fans. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more sports scandals and behind-the-scenes stories. And if there's a specific topic or scandal that you'd like us to cover, let us know in the comments down below. Until next time, stay tuned and stay informed.